Hey, what's going on, everybody? All members of the Fantasy Chairmen Dynasty League and the Fantasy Chairmen League of Origin, the Game of Zones, and anybody else out there who might be listening. Welcome to another League Note episode. I am Ben, and Alex is not here. I am solo podcasting the League Note today because Alex is off on an anniversary vacation with his girl, and the Fantasy Sasquatch, I believe, is at his cave or off foraging or doing something. So you get me today. So this will be probably a little quicker League Note, I would imagine. We're going to run through the Week 6 recap of the Game of Zones and in the Dynasty League. Let you know who won in Week 6. I know we didn't have a League Note last week, but we'll catch you up on the standings and everybody's records for each of the leagues here. Then we'll give a quick little preview going into Week 7 of the NFL season. The Thursday night game has already been played, so we've already got some people with points up on their opponents. But yeah, we got some really good trash talk sent in this week, so had to do the episode, even though I'm doing it solo, simply to showcase some of the trash talk that we got. So, although Alex is not here to co-host with me today, he did take a little bit of time out of his day there at the Oregon coast to send in a little trash talk. I think mainly because he's playing me in the League of Origin, the big league there, so he definitely had to send some in to me, but he also got some sent in because he's playing Matt, the Fantasy Sasquatch, in the Dynasty League. So going up against two of the Fantasy Chairmen, the co-hosts here, is what Alex is having to face this week. And he got another win. I did not, but Alex got another win. He's no longer sitting there with one win, so congrats to you. I'm going to have to stop that this week when I face you in the League of Origin, but we'll get to that. Anyway, in the League of Origin, the Game of Zones, in Week 6, quick recap of all the matchups here. We had, I'll just start with mine because it's very sad, and I don't have anybody here to boost my spirits other than my buddy Rocky.
You're better than that!
Thank you, Rocky. But I lost yet again. My team, Victor E. Ishmine, going up against Chance's Cooper Cabras, and I was defeated 84.24 to the Cooper Cabras 139.07. And I don't know what I can do to catch a break. Maybe going up against Alex this week in Week 7, his bad luck will outshine mine, I hope. He seemed to have turned his luck around this last week, but I hope it tanks again so that I can finally get myself another win. I'm getting on the verge of not making the playoffs here, so I'm trying to make moves. I've been sending out trade offers, so all you guys, be paying attention. I'm going to be shooting out more trade offers frequently, trying to turn this thing around. In the next matchup we had the Dirty Sass, Fantasy Sasquatch Matt himself, taking on the Cheesus, Marcus, and the Cheesus' team had been looking unstoppable for a little while there, but I believe this is 2 losses in a row now for the Cheesus, and Dirty Sass takes him down 136.22 to 97.88. Fantasy Squatch sitting at 3-3, while the Cheesus has dropped to 4-2. And then in the next matchup, we've got none other than my co-host, Alex, of Team Oh Hilaire there, taking on the formerly undefeated Team Porus. Alex Porus still needs a team name. I know she was talking about not changing her team name and not sending in smack talk and things, at least from what Alex told me, that she wasn't doing any of that because she didn't want to change anything up because she was undefeated. Well, guess what, Alex P.? You've been defeated now. Time to switch things up. Send in some smack talk. Choose a team name. Otherwise, you're still just Team Porus. Anyway, Oh, Hilaire there takes down Team Porus in just a complete beatdown. 169.15 to 88.92. Just a drumming of Team Porus there. In the next matchup, we had Jared of the Mixon Administration taking on the Soul Skaters. And this one was a complete nail biter. This was probably, I think this is the closest matchup that we've had all season long, and just a heartbreaker for the Mixon Administration, because he lost by 0.33 points to the Soul Skaters. Soul Skaters skated on in and took you down, Mixon. You are a crook. Mixon Administration loses 94.63 to Soul Skaters 94.96. In another nail-biter, Kyle's team, the Milkman, taking on Brandon's team JV2 in what were two of the lowest scores of the week. Milkman lost 76.82 to 77.59. And, oh man, the Milkman would have won had Ezekiel Elliott just not fumbled one time. If he would have just held on to that ball, just not fumbled it twice, he fumbled 2 times, and if he had only fumbled 1 time, the Milkman would be sitting victorious and would be sitting at 5-1, and instead is sitting at 4-2. Meanwhile, Team JV2, Brandon's team, got their first win, sitting at 1-5, now tied with my team. Oh. And then Jeff's team, JV1, because there is still no name for this team either, ended up losing big time to Brian's team, I Am Spartacus. Jeff's team with the lowest score of the week, 75.85 to I Am Spartacus's 135.90. Just a beatdown in that one. I Am Spartacus stuck it to the JV1 team. And to recap really quickly the standings here and the records for all the teams in the Monday Night's Watch division. We've got I Am Spartacus sitting up at the top at 4-2, followed by the Milkman at 4-2. And then the Cooper Cabras bringing up third at 3-3. Then the Dirty Sass also at 3-3, followed by the Mixon Administration in fifth at 3-3. And my co-host Alex of Oh Hilaire there, bringing up the rear at 2-4. In the Projectors of the Realm division, we've got Team Porus, Alex P's team at 5-1. And then the Cheeses sitting in second at 4-2, followed by the Soul Skaters at 3-3. With Team JV1, Jeff's team, at 3-3. I'm in fifth at 1-5, followed up by Brandon of the JV2 team at 1-5. And that is the recap for the League of Origin, the Game of Zones, our big league, our main league, our number one league right there. Oh, it's getting wild. A bunch of 3-3 teams right now. There's still a clog there. Those of us down at 1-5 and 2-4 need to string some wins together. It's getting to become absolute desperation time. We've been saying this for a couple weeks, but it is make or break. If I cannot win this week, I would tell you what, it's going to be looking very, very desolate, to say the least. Going to need something well more than the Legend of Bick to come back from where I'm at. Going into week 7, we've got some pretty good matchups here. And I'll start with this first one. It's a battle of the co-hosts of the Fantasy Chairmen podcast. Alex of Oh Hilaire there, taking on myself, Victor E. Ishmine. And the projections right now, neither of us had anybody play in the Thursday night game. Projections right now have Oh Hilaire there winning 121.91 to 104.22. But I will say the projections mean absolutely nothing. You just can't. You got to ignore them. You can't even look at them. In my 13 leagues, I was projected to win in 10 out of 13 of those leagues, and I only ended up winning in 4 of my leagues this last week. And of those 4 leagues that I won in, I was projected to lose in 3 of those leagues. So these projections, I just try not to even look at them anymore. I wish there was a way to turn them off. I've talked about this before. Anyway, in the matchup between O'Hilaire there and Victor E. Ishmine, Alex sent in some smack talk for me from the coast.
Thunder Tropics Flaming Dragon. Team sounds more like a joke to me, if you ask. Can't even hang on to Simple Jack for a ransom, let alone get yourself a team win this year. Let me ask you a question. With Joe Mixon declared out, who went out on the waiver wire Wednesday and picked up Giovanni Bernard, only to start him against you this week? I did that. Well, only one other thing left to do, and it's a showdown this Sunday against the O'Hilaire there and Thunder Tropics Flaming Dragon. And one thing's for certain, you'll never see me coming.
All right, went a little Mandarin on me, but Alex must have some vacation brain going on there because he addressed the wrong team. I don't know if you were thinking that you were playing me in the Dynasty League, Alex, or what's going on there, because that's it's not my team name in the Game of Zones. But I went ahead and I brought in the coach of my fantasy team here in the Game of Zones to talk a little smack to Alex rather than do it myself. Hey there, this is Victor E. Ishmine, aptly named because Victory Ishmine. I'm the coach for Ben's team in the League of Origin there, and they named the team after me because Victor E. Ishmine and Victory Ishmine. I just got to say that, Alex, I think you got a little confused with the team that you're facing up against. That's Ben's team in the Dynasty League that you're talking smack about. And, I don't know how you're going to win when you don't even know what team you're playing this week. So, and the whole Mandarin thing, that was good. That was good. That was a little scary. But the Mandarin was also just a drug addict actor named Trevor Slattery. So your team's going down this week because victory is mine. Thank you, Coach Victor, for coming in to lay the smackdown talk to Alex. Much appreciated there, sir. All right, in the next matchup here in Week 7, we've got Matt, the Fantasy Sasquatch of Dirty Sass, taking on Jeff of Team JV1. Both had players go off in the Thursday night game. I guess not go off, but played in the Thursday night game. And Jeff picked up old Boston Scott there because he was desperate for a running back. And it ended up panning out for him on that last-second touchdown that Carson Wentz threw to Boston Scott. Ended up getting Jeff 16.7 points. And it was a double whammy for Matt because he had the Giants' defense and ended up only getting 5.5 points from them. Currently, the projections state that Dirty Sass is projected to win 114.58 to 110.14. Good luck to you both. Down here in the next matchup, we've got Jared of the Mixon administration taking on Brandon of Team JV2. And Brandon had somebody play in the Thursday night game, the Eagles defense, who ended up scoring 14.5 points there. Currently, Brandon's team is projected to win against the Mixon administration 100.01 to 99.08. And in the next matchup here, we've got some smack talk for this one. We've got Chance of the Cooper Cabras taking on Alex P, Team Porus. Projected to be fairly close here. Cooper Cabras are being projected to win 122.99 to 117.76. And I believe Chance had something to say to Alex P.
Alex, I hope you enjoyed that winning streak because now you're going to start to experience a losing streak. Because you're messing with the cream of the crop. My team's going to rise to the top. No way, no how you going to get in my way. So just prepare to lose Sunday.
All right. Chance with the little macho man Randy Savage there. That was impressive, Chance. Well done, buddy. Short, sweet, and to the point. Talking smack to Alex P. of Team Porous. In our next matchup, we've got the Milkman Kyle taking on Soul Skaters Mike's team. And the Milkman played Travis Fulgham on Thursday. Ended up getting 5 receptions for 73 yards. Good for 9.8 points in half PPR here. This is another close one that's projected. We've got the Milkman projected for 122.41 compared to Soul Skaters 123.25. So that's going to be a close one there. Soul Skaters projected to win. And in the final matchup in the Game of Zones, the League of Origin, we've got Marcus's team, the Cheesus, taking on Brian's team, I Am Spartacus, in what is projected to be a bit of a blowout right now, with the Cheesus projected to win 129.84 to Spartacus's 105.84. A couple 4-2 teams facing off against each other there. Could have some big implications for the number 1 seed in that one. All right, let's move on to the Fantasy Chairmen Dynasty League. Okay, in the Dynasty League, quick recap of what happened in Week 6 here. We had Mike's team of the SCLSU Mud Dogs. Bobby Boucher got this team fired up. My mama said that we should win. SCLSU Mud Dogs defeated my team, Thunder Tropics Flaming Dragon. We are Flaming Dragon. 140.92 to 109.13. I dropped to 3-3, and Mike moved up to 2-4. In the next matchup, we had Matt, the Fantasy Sasquatch of Team Old Dirty Sass, defeat Kyle, the Milkman, 137.64 to 109.78. Old Dirty Sass moves on to 5-1. Meanwhile, the Milkman drops to 2-4. Then we had Alex's team, the Mackay Creek Smoke Eaters, just still proving to be dominant, taking on the Mixon administration. Jared's team just smoked them, 169.09 points to 111.49. Then we had Chance's Long Creek Hosers going up against Jeff's JV1 team in the Dynasty here. Chance's team won 120.36 to Jeff's 110.21. Chance's team moves on to 5-1, while Jeff's team is now at 3-3. Forgot to mention Alex's Mackay Creek Smoke Eaters also at 5-1, and Jared's Mixon administration at 2-4. Then we have Alex P's team, the Sunridge Slicers and Dicers, losing to Campbell's Floppy O'Copies, 95.72 to 120.00. Sunridge Slicers and Dicers sitting at 1-5. Meanwhile, the Floppy O'Copies move up to 2-4. That's 2 wins in a row for the Floppy O'Copies. All right, in the Laid Back Loungers Fantasy Conference, we've got the Long Creek Hosers sitting at the top at 5-1, followed closely by Old Dirty Sass at 5-1. Meanwhile, I'm in third there at 3-3, trailed by the Mixon administration at 2-4, and then the Sunridge Slicers and Dicers at 1-5. In the Relaxed Recliners Fantasy Conference, we've got the Mackay Creek Smoke Eaters at 5-1, and then JV1, Jeff's team, at 3-3, followed by Team Milkman at 2-4, the SCLSU Mud Dogs at 2-4, and the Floppy Okapis also at 2-4. Whole lot of 2-4 teams here in the Dynasty League. Let's move on to give you a preview of the Dynasty matchups in Week 7 here. And we'll save mine and Campbell's matchup there for last. We got some good smack talk to each other. So we'll move on to Old Dirty Sass, Matt's team, taking on Alex's team, the Mackay Creek Smoke Eaters. Battle of the brothers right here. Smoke Eaters projected to just spank the Old Dirty Sass, 164.59 to 131.30. And Alex sent in some smack talk for Matt in that one.
Hey everyone, this is Alex coming to you from the Oregon coast. Enjoying a nice weekend with my ever so nice girlfriend. Enjoying some nice food, drinking some nice drinks, and taking in some nice views. But I thought I would take a minute out of my day to send my brother Matt a nice smack talk clip, since the Smoke Eaters is going up against the Fantasy Sasquatch this week in the Dynasty League. 5-1 going up against 5-1. So in the nicest way possible, Matt, I hope your team sucks and that we throttle you and your team goes to 5-2 and my team goes to 6-1. It's going to be a bloodbath, and not even a Squatch is going to be able to watch it. So, have a nice day.
Wow, that was very nice, Alex. That was nice. It must be in a good mood up there at the Oregon coast. That I was expecting maybe something a little, I don't know, a little more gritty, a little more gird up going against your brother, the Fantasy Sasquatch here. But no, kept it cordial. And you kept it nice. So there you go. All right, in the next matchup that we've got going on, we've got Chance of the Long Creek Hosers taking on Kyle of Team Milkman. Both teams had players in the Thursday night game. Chance played the Eagles defense, getting 14.5 points. And Kyle played Boston Scott, got him 16.7 points. As well as the Giants defense, who got 5.5 points. Currently, the score is 22.2 to 14.5 in favor of the Milkman, but the projections have Chance winning 151.69 to 143.63. And in another matchup down here, we've got Mike of the SCLSU Mud Dogs at 2-4 taking on Alex P. of the Sunridge Slicers and Dicers at 1-5. Battle of the slums down here, people. We've got projections saying that Sunridge Slicers and Dicers are going to win 130.09 to SCLSU Mud Dogs 127.37. Should be a good matchup there. We'll see what happens between these two teams fighting to try and make their way into a playoff spot if they can. And then we've got Jeff's Team JV1 at 3-3 taking on Jared's Mixon administration. Jeff's team had a player play in the Thursday night game. He had Evan Ingram, who ended up getting 7.9 points. And man, Evan Ingram has just been disappointing so far this year. You'd think without Saquon, they would try to funnel that ball to their best playmakers' hands a little bit more, but looks like Jared's team is hurting pretty bad from bye weeks and injuries and whatnot this week. And currently, Jeff's team projected to stomp the Mixon administration 138.08 to 107.30. And in our final matchup of the Dynasty League right here, what's slated to be a close battle, we've got my team, Thunder Tropics Flaming Dragon. We are Flaming Dragon! Taking on Campbell's St. Fosbury Floppy Okapis. I am projected to win 140.67 to Campbell's 139.12. Campbell had Carson Wentz play who of course put up a good day of 27.76 points on Thursday night. But hey, we also saved this matchup for last because I think we've got some of the best trash talk that we've had on this show yet. Campbell sent some to me. Let's take a listen.
If you think that last week's game was hard, you won't like this drop kick to your nards. You chose a sloppy, my Okapis are floppy, and they haven't eaten for the longest time. Maybe this won't last very long. Backs cut left and right, but yours just go wrong. Maybe you've been pushing too hard. You're forcing them to start, and they all will get injured. Who knows how much further it goes on? Maybe you'll be sorry when they're all gone. We'll take our chances. You forgot how good Carson Wentz is. You won't be winning for the longest time.
Oh, Campbell, that was good. Man, I like that a lot. But I do got to say, after what you sent to Kyle, the milkman, in week 5, I was expecting more of a rap battle. And so I'm just going to hit you with a little bit of this. Fantasy rap battles of history. Let's go. We are flaming dragons, gangsters in the tropics. Fantasy football is our favorite topic. Lima Soup is your name, with all your floppy copies. You've got one thing correct, your team sure is sloppy. Think you can vanquish me? Well, I'll make you a bet. You can't win when your team's worse than Alpha's booty sweat. Think I'm scared because Carson went off? Just wait till I unleash my QB Jared Goff. You think you're funny telling me you're gonna kick me in the nods? I'ma step it up and weigh your stomach skin like a unitard. You've got a win streak that's lasted 2 weeks. Think it continues? Nah, you're getting a kick to your cheeks. You're lame. Let me remind you who you're playing. You're in the Thunder Tropics and it's Okapis that we're slaying. So listen up, Lima Soup, cause I ain't no sucker. We are Flaming Dragon and I am talking scorched earth, mother. And with that, I'm going to drop the mic and walk away. Good luck to everybody in the Fantasy Chairmen Dynasty League and the League of Origin, the Game of Zones, this week, NFL Week 7. Let's get it.